It's now time to consider what the primary purpose of an EHR home screen is. What should the EHR home screen look like? Well, I actually don't know the answer to this. Home screens are really complicated because it's difficult to imagine what a single best home screen is, just given the sheer number of different types of users, clinical settings, and ways that electronic health record tools are deployed. The same user may even require in the same clinic several different home screens depending on the time of day or where in their clinical workflow they are. And if an EHR has hundreds of features baked into it, as most big EHR systems do, that home screen will need to accommodate many different layouts and purposes than if an EHR had only, let's say, one single function or feature. So where do we start? Let's just go back again to some really simple first principles of electronic health records. And in the previous post, we talked about that if you were trying to build the simplest, most perfectly optimized EHR that will at least make clinicians eager to put aside their paper-based workflows and switch to digital, you probably only require two parts or two components. You have the home section, which is where the patient selection occurs. And then once you select a patient, you are moved over into the patient file section, which is where you may capture information about a patient or display information about a patient. And when we think about this very simplified purpose of an EHR, we learn that the primary and necessary purpose of the home part of the EHR is to move the user as quickly as possible to the next correct patient file. So yes, the home section of an app might end up doing a lot more, and the other things it does in the home section of an app might be very important. But at its core, in a clinical electronic health record, the first job of the home part of the app is to be bypassed as quickly as possible in order to get a patient file open. If you considered a well-designed analog clinic, so a clinic that works on paper, a well-designed paper clinic would always make the next patient file immediately available to the clinician right when they need it. And so our EHRs must do the same. And then, of course, now in our next blog post, we'll discuss some of the ways which the next needed patient file could be selected from that home screen.